Oh no, come on, not again. These power fluctuations are troubling from morning. చిన్మయ్ ఒక్కసారి చెక్ చేయవా? మన ఫ్లాటా లేకపోతే మొత్తం అపార్ట్మెంట్ ఇష్యూ ఫేస్ చేస్తుందా? ఇన్వర్టర్ మై బ్యాడ్ లక్, ఇట్ వర్క్స్ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ ఫ్యాన్స్ and one tube light. I cannot record. I just hope the light comes back soon. Thank God the light is back. Oh no, the camera settings. Chinmay, please, ఒక్కసారి కెమెరా సెట్టింగ్స్ చెక్ చేయవా? Yeah, thank you. That darkness felt endless. It is such a relief when the light returns. You know what is funny? The moment light goes out, we all turn into detectives. We blame the electricity department, check the fuse, call the watchman, and squint out of the window to see if our neighbors are suffering too. మన లోపల ఒక చిన్న జెలసీ ఫ్యాక్టర్ ఉంటుంది, పక్కింటి వాళ్ళు ఎక్కడ సంతోషపడుతున్నారు అని. కానీ ఒక్కసారి వన్స్ ద లైట్స్ ఆర్ బ్యాక్, we sigh in relief. It's amazing to see how something so normal like light suddenly feels like a miracle when it returns. ఒక వెలుగు వచ్చేస్తుంది. If we are unable to live without electricity for a small amount of time, think about the life before electricity. No LEDs, no tube lights, just lamps, torches and candle. Whether it was an Indian village or an European town, a Buddhist temple or a Christian home, people lit lamps. Not just to see, but to feel safe, to feel connected. In every culture, be it Hinduism, Islam, Judaism, Christianity, Buddhism, Sikhism, the act of lighting a candle or a lamp, it carried a deeper meaning. It stood for protection, wisdom, clarity, and above all, a divinity. It wasn't just about fighting darkness on the outside. It was about remembering the light within you, within us. Even today, whether it is lighting a diya at a dusk or a candle in a church, the sacred glow of a menorah, the serene lanterns of a mosque, or the flickering lamp in a Buddhist temple, they all speak the same truth. Where there is light, there is understanding, there is peace. Now just think about it. మన చుట్టూరా అంతా డార్క్గా ఉన్నట్టయితే, చీకటిగా ఉన్నట్టయితే, we start guessing things. We feel our way through. But when the lights come on, what we thought we saw often turns out to be false. మనం ఏదైతే సెన్స్ చేసి ఒక వస్తువు ఇదేమో అనుకున్నామో చీకట్లో, వెలుగు రాగానే ఆ వస్తువు మనకు ఏదైతే అనుకున్నామో దానికి విరుద్ధంగా కనిపిస్తుంది. The same thing happens with our thoughts. In fear, we imagine all kinds of dangers. In confusion, we create our own stories. But the moment we get clarity, the moment we get to understand the truth, everything shifts. This light, whether in a lamp or in you, is sacred. And let us keep that light in us burning. Dear friends, in Indian culture, we don't treat light just like a bulb or a candle. We treat it something sacred. We call it as Jyoti. You must have noticed, we begin every ceremony by lighting a lamp. Be it a housewarming ceremony, a puja, a school function, or even a government event. Jyoti Prajwalana is more than a ritual. It is a message that the path ahead should be filled with awareness. That darkness, ignorance, fear should be removed, just like the light removes our shadows. We usually light a lamp before sunrise or after sunset. Now, why not in the middle of the day? Why only specifically those times? ఇప్పుడంటే మనం మధ్యాహ్నం పూట కూడా కొన్నిసార్లు వెలిగిస్తున్నాం. But if you look at those old days, before sunrise or after sunset was the time where mostly diya or torches were lit. Because that is when the darkness surrounds us. And only in darkness do we truly understand and feel the presence of light. It is the contrast between darkness and light that gives this simple act its true power. It mirrors life itself, a quiet call to let the light within you lead the way. From confusion to clarity, from fear to peace, from ignorance to awareness. My dear friends, life is no different. There are phases when everything seems unclear. There is a doubt, there is pain, there is uncertainty. We feel like we are stumbling in the dark, and that is exactly when we need wisdom. But not from outside, but from within. And our ancestors knew this, and they passed down a beautiful mantra, a prayer not for money, not for fame, but for clarity and for something far more deeper. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amrutangamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. This is a Shanti Mantra from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It is also known as the Pavamana Mantra. Now what is this Pavamana? Pavamana ante purified or strained. Just like Soma, the sacred drink once used in rituals for clarity and transformation. Friends, notice how the mantra ends. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Now why 3 times? Some say to bring peace to the body, mind and spirit. Others say to calm all the 3 states of consciousness, waking, dreaming and deep sleep. And some others say that it calms the 3 worlds, earth, heaven and the space below, Patala Lok. Science also offers an interesting take to the idea of threefold repetition. According to neuroscientist called Giulio Tononi, our conscious experience unfolds in 3 steps. The first step, we sense things. The second step, we process them. And the third step, everything integrates into one full experience. My dear friends, many of you might remember reciting this as a short prayer during your school days.
Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya.
A daily ritual in the morning assemblies. And even today in some schools this tradition continues. But this isn't just a school prayer. It doesn't ask for wealth, fame or even a place in heaven. It's something far more timeless. A simple, powerful and a humble plea for inner truth and light. Lead me from falsehood to truth, from darkness to light, from the fear of death to the peace of immortality. I had a doubt. Does these ancient prayers from the Upanishads simply been passed down as a spiritual poetry? Even most of you might think the same. You might think it as something which is passed from generations. But there is certain thing which surprises us. Some of the greatest minds behind the quantum physics like Erwin Schrödinger and Werner Heisenberg, they were deeply influenced by the Indian philosophy.
Asato Ma Sadgamaya.
Schrödinger, known for his famous cat-thought experiment, once said that the world of separate things we see is actually an illusion and an idea which he drew directly from the Upanishads, which speaks of the oneness beneath all appearances. Heisenberg, the father of the uncertainty principle, admitted that after engaging with the Indian philosophy, the strange, puzzling nature of the quantum science began to feel more intuitive and meaningful to him. ఇదే మనం ఇంతకుముందు ఎపిసోడ్ అనాహత నాదంలో కూడా అర్థం చేసుకున్నాం, where we talked about the 0 point energy, the unstruck sound from within, which science calls it as 0 point energy, observed even at a temperature of minus 273 degrees centigrade. So these ancient verses aren't just mystical chants. They echo ideas that modern science is only now beginning to understand. And quantum science tells us the same, that matter isn't solid, it constantly changes. Neuroscience says our reality is shaped by how our mind interprets it. And AI, which is booming now, is exploring about consciousness in ways we have never imagined would be possible. And these were the very questions our sages asked thousands of years ago. Help me see what is real. Help me move beyond illusion. Help me awaken to know the truth of who I really am. My dear friends, Namaste. Welcome to Sloka to STEM, and I am Mahesh Mohan Mamunooru, and this is CM Hub, where the tradition meets technology and ancient slokas echoes the truth of modern science. And if you find value in our journey, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Now, my dear friends, let us light the lamp within and begin this journey from darkness to light. In this part 1, we will put a light on the first part of the sloka, Asato Ma Sadgamaya. Asato Ma Sadgamaya ante lead me from falsehood to truth, from what is not real to what truly is. Let us break it down. Asato ante asatyamu nundi, from falsehood or illusion. Ma ante nannu, me. Sadgamaya, satyaniki. అంటే సత్యానికి నన్ను నడిపించు, lead me to the truth. Every faith and philosophy, from the Upanishads to the Bible, from the Quran to the Tao Te Ching, they all urge us to look deeper, beyond the surface and seek that which truly lasts. Because everything we see around us keeps changing. Phones become outdated. Relationships shift, our bodies age. Success comes and goes. Wealth, health and even emotions, none of it stays the same. And even our mind and intellect change every day, which is why Vedanta calls these things asat. Not because it is fake, but because it doesn't last long. It comes and it goes. But for something to be called real in the deepest sense, Vedanta says it must remain unchanged in the past, in the present and in future. Even in modern science we see this idea. Let us talk about Edison, the guy whom we adore for giving us the light bulb. According to the Edison papers at Rutgers University, Edison's team systematically tested over 3000 different materials for filaments. There is a myth which says that he has failed 10,000 times. But it is not the same. He has failed about 3000 times. His laboratory notebooks show methodical scientific inquiry rather than random trial and error. He once said, "I didn't fail, I just found ways that won't work." And every attempt was asat, a step that didn't last. But once he found the solution that worked consistently, that became meaningful, and that was sat, stable, reliable truth. Think about your smartphone. The apps keep updating. You take new photos every day, and over time, even the phone itself starts to wear out. But there is one thing that doesn't change: the awareness that uses the phone. And that awareness is you. You that hasn't changed since you were 5. And Vedanta says that awareness is Sat, the only thing that remains. And that is the heart of this mantra, Asato Ma Sadgamaya. In this world, everything is constantly changing. Even science, it evolves from hypothesis to theory to law. You must have learnt it in chemistry, Avogadro's hypothesis, which later became Avogadro's law. Hypothesis is a statement which may be true, may not be true, but when it becomes true, it becomes law. So what we consider true today may become outdated tomorrow. You can take one more such example of atomic models. Thomson's plum pudding model gave way to the Rutherford's planetary model, which was then replaced by the Bohr's quantum orbits, and today we rely on the quantum mechanical model with the probability clouds. But what is interesting is that none of the old models were completely wrong. Each one was just a better guess than the last. They gave us a clear picture of reality step by step, and scientist Niels Bohr calls this idea complementarity. It means that different explanations can all be helpful depending upon what part of reality you are looking at. Like using both a map and a GPS, each works in its own way, but for different situations. Each step wasn't wrong, it was just a stepping stone towards a deeper understanding. And what Vedanta tells us is there is something unchanging, a steady light behind all experiences, and that is consciousness, the awareness within you. Think of the sky. Clouds drift in, storms rage, rains pour, and then the sun shines again. But the sky itself, it remains untouched, vast, constant. The same is true within you. Thoughts may come and go, emotions may rise and fall, but the real you, the awareness behind it all, it remains unchanged. You are not the passing clouds, you are the sky. And physicist David Bohm, who worked with Einstein, said that reality has two layers. One that stays hidden, where everything is connected and never changes. He called this the implicate order. The other is the everyday world we see around us that keep changing. He called this the explicate order. And this is very similar to what Vedanta teaches. Sat, the unchanging eternal truth behind everything, and Asat, the ever-changing world we see on the surface. There is an incident which was recorded in the history books. When Einstein's close friend Michael Besso passed away, Einstein wrote something very thoughtful to his friend's family. He said that time doesn't really flow the way we think it does. Past, present and future, they all exist together like pages in a book. Our feeling that time moves or that now is special is just something our mind creates. And in his view, nothing truly ends. Every moment simply exists. Science is slowly uncovering what Vedanta said long ago, that behind this ever-changing world is something eternal, unseen but always there. My dear friends, in a world that keeps changing faster than we catch up, Asato Ma Sadgamaya is not just a prayer. It's a reminder for you to stop chasing the temporary, to pause and ask what is real, what never changes, what can I trust when everything else fades away. And Vedanta has an answer to it. It gently says your awareness. The I that watches, the I that learns and knows, the I that stays with you, that alone is Sat, and that alone is real. So let us begin this journey from illusions that fade to the truths that stay, from Asat to Sat. This is not just the first line of a mantra. It is the first step of an inner journey. My dear friends, as we close this part of our journey, remember the search for truth begins not in books or labs, but within you. In the next part, we will go deeper, from darkness to light and from death to immortality. Until then, keep the flame of awareness burning. Stay grounded, stay curious, and stay true to the light within you. Bye bye. See you.